Good afternoon, team, and welcome to the very first installment in our nutritional units here on the island. And I'm super excited about bringing this to you. I've even got some notes here on a sheet, so I stay on track this entire time. But I wanted to shoot this video, and I want to do more videos like this to educate every single one of you. I know at times we forget and we get caught up in doing popular things in order to lose weight. But there is a thing I learned, an acronym I learned when I was a kid when I played sports called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So keep things as simple as possible. Now, when it comes to nutrition, it could not be more true than to keep things simple. How many times in the past, or even maybe even right now, have you gotten caught up in the new trend, in the new phase, or the new diet that just hit the market? I know I have in the past. And some of the things I'm going to tell you right now and explain to you are some of the things that I wish that I knew when I first got into fitness. Very, very important things, but very simple things, and things that you can do without spending any money on products, spending any money on supplements, and without spending any money on downloading ebooks and stuff like that in order to get advice or be part of a group. You're already a part of an amazing community of people who are all trying to move in the right direction. And some of the units that I'm going to be displaying to you are going to go a little bit more into depth, but today we're going to keep it pretty surface level. All right, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is, in order to lose body fat, really the first thing and the simplest thing you can do is make a transition from eating any processed foods like chips, breads, anything that's really in a packaged cereal, stuff like that, and go more towards whole foods. If you can shift from processed foods to whole foods, you're winning. Now, what do I mean by whole foods? Well, the majority of the food that you should be eating on a daily basis should be single ingredient food. Now, this doesn't mean that if you don't eat single ingredient food all day, that you're a bad person, or you did something wrong, or you failed. That is not what I'm getting at. But the majority of your nutrition, of the way you eat, right? I'm not going to call it a diet because diets don't work, but the majority of your nutrition or how you eat, your eating style, should be mainly based around single ingredient foods. Not foods that have 10 or more ingredients or 20 or more ingredients, or they're filled with, additives and preservatives or sugars and things like that. We want to eliminate as much of that stuff out of your nutrition each day as possible. Now, why do we want to do this? It's not always just to lose weight, right? It doesn't have to be about just losing weight and getting in the best shape ever. It can also be for mental, cognitive health. So you feel mentally aware. So you can perform at your absolute peak mentally. All right, when you put fillers and you put binders and sugars and things like that, they do stuff inside your body that, at the beginning may give you a little bit of a boost, but then it sends you crashing down a couple of hours later. Now, I want to point you to what I call the drive-through breakfast, all right? And that's what many Americans do. They are in the habit of going for the drive-through breakfast, right? And that means going to somewhere like a coffee shop, like a Starbucks, first thing in the morning. And what is it? What happens? Well, your body gets hijacked by carbs, by caffeine, and by sugars, additives and preservatives that you're going to add in. It's going to stimulate your brain like you've never felt before in your life. And then 2 to 3 hours later, you come crashing down. Your insulin levels, your hormones have spiked, and now they're dropping at a rapid rate, causing you to feel drowsy, not able to think clearly, and to underperform. So if we want to perform at optimal levels, and yeah, sure, you want to lose some body fat as well, you want to look amazing, you want to feel amazing, well, then we need to eliminate a lot of those additives and preservatives, and especially in the morning time. So where do we want to move towards? We want to move towards the single ingredient nutritional plan. And that means no foods are off limits, but we're just looking for the simplest form of food, okay? And then you can flavor it whatever way you want. The next thing I want to talk about is diets. Do diets work? Hell no, diets do not work. They've never worked, they never will work, because they are for a period of time. And what will work and what is going to stand to you a lot more is developing a lifestyle. Something you can do every single day. It's just a way of life. It's just what you do. You eat to fuel. So the next thing we're going to speak about is your sleep. Guys, it is so important to get optimal sleep, optimal recovery for your body, for your hormones, for your brain. So there's 3 different things that happen when you sleep. 1, your muscles recover. 2, your brain recovers, all right, because now it's downtime. It doesn't have to do so much work. And 3, you burn fat. That's right. When you sleep, you burn fat. You burn almost as many calories when you sleep as when you do a workout. Now, this doesn't mean sleep all day, but it means when you sleep, you should be sleeping efficiently. And here are some of the things you can do to have a much better sleep. What I love to do, every evening, I set myself a time. I pop in the shower at that time, turn it on as hot as I can stand it, all right? Get out, dry off, all that fun stuff. I rehydrate because you're gonna sweat a little bit, so I wanna be hydrated before I go to sleep. You wanna be hydrated before you go to sleep. Then, I set some relaxing music. I know, it's kind of weird, but I do it. I set some relaxing music so I can begin the calm down process. All right, this is usually around 8:30 when all this begins to happen. Then, after that, I put my headphones in. This is something that not a lot of people do. Sometimes I listen to podcasts. Sometimes I continue listening to that relaxing music. Make sure I'm fully hydrated. All the lights are off. Everything is off inside the room. Then I put my eye mask on. The phone is across the room. All my alarms are set. I don't need to see that screen anymore. What's on is on. The volume is always perfect because I set it perfect before I get into bed. And then, boom, literally out like a light. And I sleep like a baby. When that doesn't happen, I can feel it the next day. I feel fatigued. I feel groggy. I'm sure you've probably been there, right? You feel fatigued, you feel groggy. No matter how much caffeine you drink the next day, nothing is pulling you out of it. No matter how much water you drink, nothing is pulling you out of it. You feel hungry all day. You're making bad choices with your food because you have cravings. If you do not sleep efficiently, you're one of these people who stays up past midnight to watch shows late, watch TV late, get all that blue light in your eyes, keeping you awake like a zombie, and then you get crappy sleep on top of that, you are not performing how well you could be performing. So what I want you to do is I want you to implement some of these things. I want you to start to eat single ingredient foods, more of them, okay? Slowly eliminate the processed foods. I know this isn't going to happen overnight, but pull them out, get them away. They're not doing you any good. Don't be a drive-by breakfast victim. Don't get that sugar in the morning and stimulate your body the wrong way, because it's going to lead to cravings, and it is going to lead to poor cognitive health and fat gain. We want to avoid that, right? Then you're going to make sure you're optimally hydrated throughout the day. And the final thing, one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, you are going to set yourself a sleep schedule, a sleep routine, and you're going to stick to it.